even before you started your journey to Germany, you got a hint of how
Yeah,
the
I,
Ausländeраmt
I got
feels.
a taste of the bureaucracy in Germany. So when I came here, everyone was speaking German,
Mhm.
especially in Augsburg. English is not that common, and everyone here speaks German, and I couldn't understand anything.
What was your thought process while coming to Germany?
So with respect to job, I didn't think it would be that hard as it was. I thought since I have worked for like 4 years in India, but then I encountered a roadblock,
Mhm.
and language was a major roadblock for me because
What I found difficult in Germany is like it's not so easy to make friends. How was it for you?
I I virtually had no chance to meet with people or make friends because I didn't go to a university to do masters. I didn't go to a language class. So
Overall, if you have to give advice to anyone who is coming probably to Germany on a dependent visa,
um, all good things take time. So just be patient and yeah, things should fall in place.
hello. Welcome to the fifth episode of the Kamath Talks. In today's episode, we are going to delve into a life of a person who came to Germany on a dependent visa. Most of us come to Germany on a student visa. When we start our life as a student in Germany, we always have others around us who are also in the similar boat and in similar situations. It is easy to navigate in comparison to people who come to Germany on a dependent visa. When someone comes to Germany on a dependent visa, they have to figure out a lot of things on their own, and it's hard to find people who are also in similar boat as them. So, in today's episode, let us speak to Deeksha Kamath, who came to Germany on a dependent visa. Let us get to know what one feels when they come to Germany on a dependent visa, what are their experiences, how do they feel, and how hard or easy it is to get accustomed to a new country. Without any further ado, let us welcome Deeksha to this podcast.
Hi Kiran, it's nice to be here.
How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm also doing pretty good. It's already been a year since you came to Germany,
Mm-hmm.
but if you could go back to the times when you came to Germany, what was the first thing that you would remember when you landed in Germany?
So I landed in Germany around November
Mhm.
and it was really, really cold. That's like the first thing that I can remember about Germany. And in India, I come from a place which is quite warm. So it was very different from me. And after that, it was at night.
Mhm.
So I remember hopping on and off of public transport, going on the ICE. And yeah, that's something I can recall from the first day that I was here.
Since you are already for a year now in Germany, for all the viewers who are looking on this topic of dependent visa, let us directly go into this itself. How was it for you when you applied for a dependent visa? Was it really easy to get it? What was the timeline? How did you feel?
It was not very difficult. There were a lot of documents that I had to be ready with, and I had to go through those lists a lot of times so that I didn't miss out on anything and risk the visa getting cancelled or delayed. Despite that, what happened was the documents had reached the German office where they had to issue the visa,
Mhm.
but after a month or 2 months there was no reply. I had tried emailing to the VFS. I had tried calling the helpline numbers and I was not sure where it's getting held up or why. Then we wrote a mail to the German office and then we come to know that they need some documents
Mhm.
and they've not even reached out to us. So, and it took 1 or 2 more weeks to get ready with the documents. It was a long list of documents which was not present in the earlier checklist. But once that they received the documents, the visa came very quickly.
If you had not mailed them in Germany, then probably you would have
Yeah.
to wait forever.
Yeah, I don't know how long I would have to wait. Maybe the standard 3 months, after which they think, ah, now it's the time for her visa to get processed and they would get back to me. But yeah, at least after 2 months we mailed them. Otherwise, it would have probably taken longer.
Even before you started your journey to Germany, you got a hint of how
Yeah,
the Ausländeраmt
yeah,
here
I got
is.
a taste of the bureaucracy in Germany, to
Okay.
say the least.
Yeah. So one more very interesting thing that is important is like maybe before you came to Germany, you already had some overview or thoughts about how Germany could be, how Europe could be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was it really different when you landed here?
Yes, it was different, especially related to the architecture, how the layout was over here. All the buildings were in like a straight line
Mhm.
and similar kind of looking buildings with sloped kind of roof. And one thing that astonished me the most was the alignment of trees.
Mhm.
So if I stand somewhere in front of the tree
Mhm.
and there are a line of trees, all of them are one behind the other. And it's like in a straight line, and that there's only one tree. And I was just shocked with it. So,
Yeah, this is one of the thing about Germany, wherein I think everything is planned and
yeah,
everything is man-made.
yeah,
Even the forests here, as far as I see, like they are taken care of time
yes,
to time.
yes. And every tree has a numbering on them. So it was quite astonishing to say.
Okay, so this was probably a sort of cultural shock for you, or were there some other cultural shocks which were more evident for you?
And I didn't know the language. I
Mhm.
didn't know German at all. I
Mhm.
had tried studying a bit, but it was only limited to the letters and numbers and few words and few verbs. So when I came here, everyone was speaking German,
Mhm.
especially in Augsburg. In English is not that common, and everyone here speaks German, and I couldn't understand anything. Even the even in the tram, Straßenbahn, it was always in German, so it would be difficult to know the stop or what's happening. And the announcements are in German in
Mhm.
trains. So even if he says that, the train has stopped, everyone get down, I wouldn't understand for the first couple of months.
Was it easy or difficult to get accustomed to the German food when you came to Germany? And do you also find Indian food in the supermarkets? How is the situation with respect to finding groceries in Germany?
The German food is very different from Indian food. German food, uh, probably they do not use so many spices as we Indians do, and also a lot of their dishes is meat based, and I do not prefer eating meat that much. So initially, when I moved here, it was a bit of challenge to find our Indian groceries in the usual German supermarket. But then, as time went by, I figured that there was a corner in this supermarket which offered this food which we use in India. For example, bamboo shoots. It's something which is difficult to find even in India, but then it's easily available in German supermarkets. Or our dals, the linsens, it's easily available in German supermarkets. And also there are specific supermarkets which have like a fusion kind of offering where they offer other kinds of Indian lentils, like different kinds of dals and also Bengal grams and chanas. So as time went by, I discovered that I could always buy things in the German supermarket and use it in our Indian cooking. That being said, they do not offer an entire range of whatever we want. So for that, I used to order online, or there are like Indian stores in every city in Germany, so I used to visit them.
So probably it was a few crazy months at the start. One thing that I find really interesting with the dependent visa is once you have a dependent visa, you can work at any place. Probably it can also be a part-time job, it can be a mini job. Also, you can work a full-time job on a dependent visa. We will get back to the full-time job maybe in the later half. In your knowledge, what kind of part-time jobs can one do having a dependent visa?
Think it's a bit easier to do part-time jobs because there are no restrictions with what job you can choose or the salary criteria that you have to meet. And there are a lot of jobs, part-time jobs or mini jobs in Germany. Part-time jobs are basically the ones where you have to work around 20 to 30 hours per week, and mini jobs is way less than 15 hours per week. In Germany, basically people go to work in retail shops like Decathlon or Deichmann, H&M, or also in bakeries, supermarkets. And also there's an opportunity to work in Amazon warehouses. Um, so there are a lot of options to work part-time or do a mini job in Germany. But sometimes the thing is that because it's more of a customer facing role, sometimes German becomes a bit essential, and it is always better to improve your German first and then look for a part-time job or mini job. Also, sometimes some part-time jobs are more challenging and demanding than the others. Like example, if you work in a supermarket or in some H&M or such brands, then you would have to stand for long hours. And if you work in Amazon, I've also heard that that is also a bit of a demanding kind of job. So when choosing a part-time job, I think it's better to understand more about what you want to do and what you can do, and then join the job. And it actually pays decent per hour. It's around like 12 and half euro to 14 and half euro.
But to go back on this topic of being dependent
Mm-hmm.
on someone and coming to Germany, I see that you are a chartered accountant. What was your hopes like? Did you already know you could probably land a job? What was your thought process while coming to Germany from professional perspective? And how did your schedule look like in the initial few months? Did you directly start looking for jobs, or did you concentrate on certain aspects of life at the start and then start looking for jobs? So how did your life overall look like in the first few months on dependent visa?
So with respect to job, I didn't think it would be that hard
Mhm,
as it was. I thought since I have worked for like 4 years in
mhm,
India, that too in finance,
mhm,
which doesn't necessarily require much of taxation or other
mhm,
rule specific knowledge, I thought it would be relatively easier to get a job. But then I encountered a roadblock,
mhm,
and language was a major roadblock for me because all the job descriptions would be in
mhm,
German, and then in the requirements they would say the person has to know like B1, B2, C1
mhm,
level, even C1 levels of
mhm.
language. So that was a major challenge for me. And once I knew that without the language I couldn't land a job, I started prepping for the language.
So when did this start? Maybe a small timeline would help here.
Yeah, so I came around November,
Mhm,
and for 1 or 2 months, I was just getting adjusted and acclimated
mhm,
to Germany and the German winters.
mhm,
And in January, I went to the Agentur for Arbeit.
mhm,
So they are the job center and they help people looking for jobs.
mhm,
And they did not help me with the language course directly.
mhm,
But one thing that they did was they told me that there was VHS
mhm,
online, which had some kind of pre-recorded animated videos which I could refer to learn language till B1. So from around January or February, I had started prepping with respect to my language, and then in like 5 or 6 months, I was able to reach B1.
mhm,
But the problem was that I had done it online on my own in the comfort of my home.
mhm,
So I could not speak to people in German because I had never used the language.
mhm,
And then what I did was, a friend of mine here, who lives here, told me that in the library they have this stamtish kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
where everyone gathers and they just speak German.
Mm-hmm.
So for like a month or two, I went there and I was trying to converse with people in German.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also helped me a lot.
Yeah. For all the viewers, Stammtisch is something that is very common here, at least in Germany, as far as I know. It means a lot of people get together and speak in a particular language or on a particular topic. So I think in your case, then you had different topics and you could you
Yes,
speak in German and try
yes.
your language.
Yes, but the topics were kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the beginning, they were discussing about political scenarios or about environment
Mm-hmm.
or about wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know how to call a war in German, because that's not something you would encounter when
Yes.
you're studying like in
Yeah.
a class.
Then how did your day look like, at least in the first few months? How was your schedule for the day?
So I would wake up and um, have food, cook food, and then I would sit at a stretch for like 3 or 4 hours per day and then learn German. And I would also be applying for jobs, because I learned that if I don't apply, I don't understand the mistakes that I'm making
Mm-hmm.
and I can't improve on it. So I was also working on my resume, my language skills, on other upskilling
Mm-hmm.
related to my topics, and that's how my day looked at.
What I found difficult in Germany is like it's not so easy to make friends. How was it for you? Like, how did you make friends, or do you have friends? Do you do not have friends even after 1 year? How does it look like?
Uh, I I virtually had no chance to meet with people or make friends, because I didn't go to a university to do masters. I didn't go to a language class. So one thing that had happened is, during my driver's license test, we have to do the Erste Hilfe first aid course.
So you also plan to do your driving
Yes,
license. Okay,
yes.
which month was this? Probably after you.
This was in June or
Mm-hmm.
July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like 5, 6 months after I came to Germany.
Okay.
So during the driving class, the entire 7 or 8 hour, the first grade class was in German, and I was like A2 level or something, so I couldn't understand much, but still I tried to understand. And then there was a girl over there, and I had seen her when I was going to the
Mm-hmm.
Erste Hilfe class. She took the same tram as I did, from the same stop, so I remembered her. And then we started conversing during the lunch break, and we found a common interest, which was crocheting.
Mm-hmm.
And we exchanged numbers, and I came to know she lives close to my home. And then she invited me once, and we crocheted together. And then I invited her, and we crocheted together. So we became friends. And then during the stamp dish also, I met a Mexican girl, and we became friends, and we had game nights, we had parties and stuff. And apart from that, there was an Indian girl who had
Mm-hmm.
recently moved to Germany, and around 5, 6 months back from now. And one day she just texted in the WhatsApp group, and WhatsApp group for ladies in Germany, Indian ladies in Germany.
So there is also a
Yeah, there
WhatsApp
are a
group.
lot of WhatsApp groups. There are like
Okay.
all kinds. The Indian ladies in Germany. There is like specific Augsburg Indians. There's Munich Indians. There's something. There are a lot of groups in Germany. There are just for flow markets or something. There are a lot of groups.
Okay.
Yeah, and this girl had just texted
Mm-hmm.
who lives in Augsburg. So in this group, there are hundreds of ladies who are from different parts of Germany,
Mm-hmm.
mostly the northern part or
Mm-hmm.
central part, not from the south. So I was shocked because I saw
Mm-hmm.
Augsburg, and then I quickly replied, and we started chatting. Then we became friends. We became really good friends, and turns out she lives near my home too.
Yeah,
So
Augsburg is a small city, so
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, she lives close, and then we have bonded nicely. So that's how I was able to garner a few friends that I could.
is it really important according to you to have some social life and have some friends? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you are not going to a university or to work. That means you have 24 hours for yourself. Yeah. what do you think, from your perspective? Should all the people who come to Germany on a dependent visa always try to concentrate on this aspect of life and gather some friends of their own so that they find new things and probably ease in their life?
Yes, it depends on
Mm-hmm.
person to person. Someone might want time to themselves and their personal life. Someone would want to socialize. For me, I was of the second category.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to limit my contact to my husband and his friends or our relatives or something like that. I wanted someone to be friends with um, or share things with or go out with or go shopping or go have dinner or have a casual chat with. So for me it was really important to build connections here in Germany. And
You
yeah,
could do it.
yeah, I could do it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but it takes some kind of effort.
Mm-hmm.
With Indians, it doesn't take much of an effort,
Mm-hmm.
but with people from different cultures, they are different from us, and we have to learn how we can approach them, what is the right thing to do and what is not the right thing to do.
More or less, your day had a type of schedule and you would follow it day in, day out. But did it start getting frustrating at some point of time, from professional point of view, that uh, it's going nowhere, or how was it?
Uh, yes. So the because I came in November,
Mm-hmm.
the worst months were the beginning months where I was just learning more about Germany and settling in, and I had just started my language. Um, so when it got really routine, the weather was at least better, and at least I could go out and spend my day outside. But from a professional point of view, yes, it did get really frustrating because the jobs that I was applying for, the requirements were what I had worked on, and but I was not getting any calls,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know what was going wrong, where it was going wrong, and in that respect, it was really frustrating for me because I didn't know how to proceed, go ahead, what should I do, what am I doing wrong, and I just knew that I had to quickly learn the language.
But then how did you overcome this?
Um, oh, I finished the language as soon as possible.
Up to
The
which level?
up to B1.
Mm-hmm. And all of this was online,
Yes,
so
yes.
you did not go to any classes?
No, though I wanted to go, but it was not possible for me to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I did try again after finishing B1. I
Mm-hmm.
reached out to the job center again to help me with the voucher.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time they had got back to me, the places in the classes were empty.
Mm-hmm.
There were no free slots, and I had also got a job. So, yeah, I couldn't do it at all.
So you mentioned that you got a job. What kind of job, or was it a full time, or what exactly was
So, I got a full time job
it? Mm-hmm.
in the domain that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when was this in your timeline?
It was just when I had completed a year,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I joined the job. So
Okay.
the 1st of November, I was employed.
Okay. So finally, it did
Yes,
happen
yes,
that
it did.
you got a job.
Yes.
How many applications did you have to?
At a point of time, I lost the count.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Germany, lot of us get rejections when applying for a full-time job. According to you, what are the reasons for getting these rejections for a full-time job?
So, from my experience, the jobs that I had applied for, uh, they were either the job description was in German, fully, totally in German, or also sometimes there's a criteria in the requirements that you have to be conversational or business fluent in both German and English. So, I believed that. Me not knowing German so well was one of the major reasons that I had faced so many rejections, or rather, these automated mail replies where I didn't even get reasons why I was being rejected. And also, for the ones which I had received replies, they said that I have to be aware of the German laws and regulations because I work basically mostly in finance. So I would have to know the um, German accounting standards or German taxes or such other related regulations. One more reason could be that the degrees or the studies that we have done in India, the people here would not know more about it, because here they do not have a master's in commerce or bachelor's in commerce. They have master in science in so and so area. So one of the other reason could be that they do not understand what we have studied, and that's why there are rejections coming in.
Which platforms did you use to look for jobs in Germany? Did you mostly use the career websites in the web pages of the company, or did you use social media such as LinkedIn or other such platforms?
So in Germany, there are a lot of websites which can be used to apply for jobs like LinkedIn, Indeed, and also one of the best ways to apply is through the company's website directly. And sometimes the companies would not put their job openings in LinkedIn or such other websites, but if you know that this is your target company, it is better to visit their websites regularly, and as and when they post the job openings, it is better to send your applications to them within that same day, so that you, because they actually close the postings or they actually stop hiring after it's been some time on the website, because they get a lot of applications. So, and also one more thing in Germany is that you can do unsolicited applications, where there's a specific area in the company website, career website, where you can just apply for the company position, and there is no specific opening, but you write to them saying that I am so and so, I have so much experience, I have worked in this field, and I'm looking to work in your company in this position. So that is one more option that can be done in Germany.
Yeah, that's nice to know how your journey was. So, if I understand it, you mostly concentrated on learning German,
Yes.
and then in order to speak, you went to Stammtisch and then checked what are the avenues wherein you could also use your German skills. And then you also concentrated on doing other things such as driving license or making friends in the meantime, and while also applying for jobs.
Yes.
Um, Overall, if you have to give advice to anyone who is coming probably to Germany on a dependent visa, the first time in their life, what would you say?
I would say that things are not sometimes as easy as they seem,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a lot of efforts to even make friends here, and the timing variation and stuff. So you wouldn't be so much connected with India as such. Your parents, it gets difficult to manage the timing and the schedule, and also if you're like a professional who is doing something very specific or niche in India,
Mm-hmm.
and the language is utmost essential when you come here, it's going to take time for you to get a job, and you're just going to be frustrated until then.
Mm-hmm.
But also once you do land a job, it is nice, and um, all good things take time. So just be patient, and yeah, things should fall in place.
Yeah, a few rapid fire questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Since you already know German, maybe
Nine.
which is your favorite German word or phrase?
Mm, no, I don't have
You do
like a.
not know a single German word.
I know a single German word, but I don't have favorite.
Mm-hmm. So then maybe you also tried some German cuisines. Which is your favorite
Yes,
German cuisine?
I wouldn't call it cuisine, but
Mm-hmm.
I like Butter pretzel a lot.
Okay,
I feel these two things just like are made for each other.
okay. The butter and the pretzel.
Pretzel, yeah.
Okay. And which is your favorite place in Germany? Maybe you already have visited some of the
Mm-hmm.
places. So which is the most that you remember?
Uh, Neuschwanstein Castle. I know it's the Disney castle, so it was pretty beautiful to see it in person.
Okay. Any last closing remarks to all the people who would like to come to Germany? did it enrich your experience overall from a perspective of moving from India to Germany? Um, do you think it was a good decision, or what do you think about
Now
it?
that I think of it, I think it was a good decision because I got to see and experience a lot of different cultures
Mm-hmm.
and understand people, understand um, to a bit their way of thinking, and all in all, to explore places and try different foods. So I would say it was a good decision to move to Germany, although it was frustrating in the beginning with the visa or the bureaucracy or other things, but it was worth it.
Thank you very much for sharing your experiences. Hopefully, some of these information definitely help others who are coming to Germany. And for all the viewers who are watching this video, please subscribe, like, and share this video. If you like the content, please press the like button, and we bring to you more from Germany, more from different people who have seen the world from a different perspective. Thank you, and until next time, bye.